Hello everyone, this is CV9 and today I will be showing you North America Divided. Now this is a compilation of all three of the first episodes, so it's not real. I didn't really make a new video, but I kinda did because there's a 20-second clip. So I'll see you guys in the next video. At 30 subscribers, I will be doing a World War II video, and then shoutouts. Shout out to Xenaman Knows because he gave me a shout out, so that's really cool. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video and see you later. Bye. If you look at a map, then you'll see a lot of countries, and one of those countries is Canada. The second biggest country in the world, and home to 36 million people. Literally, PewDiePie has nearly as much subscribers, more than Canada. So that means there's not really that much cities. There's only like at least 5 really big cities because the population is only 35 million. And the biggest city has 9 million people living in it, I think. So yeah. A lot of the land we have is mostly forest. It is mostly divided from English, French, and Native. So this is how Canada is divided. First, over here in Quebec and Ontario, this is where the most French people live. So this is where the French people are mostly. And then over here we got the English-speaking part, mostly English, and like almost no French. Then we've got the Fisher side over here, and then we have the Eskimos, and then we have the Alaskan Eskimos, which I'll tell you in a second how the Alaskan Eskimos are really different. We should call them Yukon Eskimos, but they originated from Alaska, like they did. I'll tell you about history in a second. So now let's talk about history. Canada got this divided because of a lot of history. The Eskimos came first from Siberia to Alaska, and then they moved on all the way over here. But the Yukon Eskimos have really different culture, and the Eskimos here have the most land and a lot of followers. It's home to 14,000 people only. But in the world, there's there is some in Greenland too, and lots of all over the world, but not China. So about the Fisher Zone, that was claimed by the English, but basically it was claimed by the French, and well, it gets complicated, but I'm just gonna say the Scottish because called Nova Scotia and Scotland tried to colonize it, and there's lots of Scots there. Then this part, the French tried to claim all of the Great Lakes until Britain invaded, and then they lost their Canadian colonies. So basically, all of these colonies became all of Britain, and then formed Canada. And yeah, so it got divided because Canada became one single country. And then, yeah, so it got divided and all that. So if Canada got into collapse, then this is what it kind of looked like. But Ontario would kind of be with the English-speaking side, because there is more English than French. But this is almost fully French. But there's a lot of French schools in that area in Ontario, so they wouldn't ban French or anything because I can speak French too. I'll say in the comments some French. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Yeah. As always, thanks for watching, and if you want more videos, suggest your ideas in the comments and maybe subscribe so I know how people like my content. So suggest more ideas in the comments because I'm running out of ideas. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. If you look at a map, then one of those countries are the United States, which is third or fourth biggest country in the world, depending who you ask, which is home to 316 million people. it's not that crowded, but at times it gets crowded in bigger cities because the country is smaller than Canada. Honestly, depending who you ask. It is mostly divided by English and Spanish, although there's many more. And also it is divided by native, but there's not much natives in the country anymore since. So the US is divided by lots of things. Up here, Alaska is divided by Russian, as there's most Russian relatives down there. And there's Eskimos up here, as they belong to both of these Eskimo sides. Up here is the really small French population, and here is all the city area, where all the, a lot of the population in the United States is. Then we got native land right here in the middle of the United States, and then we got where the most Canadians live, and then we got where the most Mexicans live, right here. It goes longer, but that's most population that lives there. And also, there's where all the rednecks are, in Texan side. And here's the suburban area on the west. And then in Florida, this is where the most tourists are. Because, well, the Washington, D.C. is between both of these, so, yeah. They got just divided by history. Let's start with the basics. Alaska is this divided because the Russians used to have Alaska until they sold it to the United States. But even before that, the Eskimos came from Alaska. So, this is another kind, as in my other video, Nunavut and Yukonian Eskimos. Yukon is separating these two when they are the same Eskimo. So let's get down to the mainland. The Florida part got divided because that's where most tourists came. And also, over here, this is the most French population because the French trying to colonize it. And also, this is the most densely populated area in the United States, as this was the first, part of the 7 colonies. Well, yeah, there was, and this is where the most cities are. If you ever go to the United States, then Washington, D.C. and Chicago and all that, it'll all be there. So, the Indian tribes are over here because there's not a lot of Indian tribes, but it should mostly belong to the rednecks. But I'm just going to put a space for the Indians because they still have because that's most uninhabited part of the United States right there. I don't know, it's kind of New Jersey, I think. But a lot of tribes used to live there, so I'm going to put them as a spot. And then I put the rednecks there because, well, there's a lot of rednecks in the country. So the Mexican area is there because lots of Mexicans migrated after tons of violence that went in Mexico. Then the suburban area because, well, I've seen lots of movies and I've seen lots of people visiting Washington, not Washington, D.C., it's Washington as a state, and I've seen lots of suburban areas, so I'm going to make that suburban area. It's the Canadian area because it's close to the Canadian border, and maybe I should divide it here because there's a lot of Canadians in the eastern side of Alaska. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Mexico is next for this series, and then I will make North America Undivided series. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, and make sure to subscribe and like if you like this series, because I enjoy it too. If you look on a map, then you will see Mexico as a country, which is the 16th biggest country in the world, depending on who you ask, and home to 129 million people, which is very crowded for a country with 129 people in the 16th biggest country in the world, and it is pretty small. So the divide is between rich, poor, and native, although there is a few others. As you can see, Mexico is divided quite a little bit. So, over here we got the native tribes of the people who came before the Spanish in the Mexican area. And then we've got the poor in the middle of Mexico, who are, as you watch the news a lot, then there will be a lot of news on how people get shot. And then on the north is the Americans up here, right on the east, right here. On the right, and then on the left, there's the most tourist destinations, and where the rich people live. Now let's talk about history. Mexico became this divide because of the government, which made the rich, the safe area of Mexico that I've actually went to before, the safe areas where all the rich Mexicans live. Then here is where all the poor is, including the capital city, which is actually pretty poor. The Americans live in the rich side of Mexico. It is basically a rich side, but there's lots of Americans that live there. And also there's a lot of people there because sometimes they decide not to be part of Mexico and always demand for independence. But they're the ones that created their culture in Central America. So all south of Mexico is where their real country is. Thank you for watching like always, and also I need to get a new stand so I can make gaming videos, so just hold on. Then I can get a new stand, and then I can make gaming videos, this, and tons of other stuff. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Subscribe for more, like this video, share it to your friends so I can get more subscribers. Thank you, bye.